Do you like muscular women?
Do I prefer or do I like?
If you were going on a first date with somebody and she showed up and she's just like jacked.
It's a lot to take in. That's all I'll say.
I think I'd be into it. I'm into a lot of different kind of things. My motto is anything twice.
Okay.
So once to see if you like it, the second time to make sure. And I don't really have a type when it comes to like romantic partners other than like
Me neither.
female usually.
Yeah.
Um but I don't know, man. If I showed up to a Tinder date and like I'd only seen pictures of her face and she just had like some boulder shoulders and some tree trunk legs, man. If she
Mhm.
was like clearly more jacked than I am, I'd probably be like, I don't know, let's see where this goes. Maybe we'll be sipping protein shakes on the beach one day.
Yeah. It's like Lady and the
Alcoholic
Tramp,
protein shakes.
but it's like a Cliff Bar.
Yeah. Is alcoholic protein shakes a thing?
That's gotta
Somebody's
be.
got to have. Write that down.
It's probably like Four Lokos' next product.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just combine things that obviously should not be together.
What alcohol do you put in a protein shake? Oh God.
That sound your stomach would be destroyed. That's got to be like is that a toxin or is that a laxative? Like at what point
Protein powder?
protein and alcohol combined? Like what does that do to your body? Like
You're just it's like you're giving your body all the building blocks and some of them are poison.
right. I feel like that's like it's like food poisoning in a bottle because
I want to see how do we make it happen though? Like how do we make alcoholic protein shakes good? You got to have a neutral base. And I feel like the thing that's going to come through the most is going to be the protein powder.
Yeah.
So I think we either
it's gonna be so gritty. Imagine alcohol and just sand.
We have to either lean into the protein or try and bury it. I say we get a vanilla protein powder.
Okay.
And basically make like a white Russian with.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I was just waiting.
Really?
Yes. Because that's what you'd have to do.
Yeah, like a vodka and like a protein.
Oh my God.
And like a cream. Oh my God.
30 minutes after your workout too. Like people trying to hit their window.
You're at the bar and it's like it's my anabolic window, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Dude, can you imagine telling a bartender that? It's my anabolic window. I'll take 2.
Oh man. Fuck, dude. I was dating a bartender pretty recently. Maybe I'll hit her up and tell her like, hey, can you make this happen?
Can you make me a creatine white Russian? Oh my God. Yeah. Have you ever had Four Lokos?
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Like, when I was just trying to get fucked up when I was like 19.
Before like they remade them though.
Oh no. before when they had the like caution, the radioactive symbol on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I that was a little before my time.
Yeah, I remember when people were drinking those and I was just like, you gotta, I mean, the signs are there. They're on the can.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Look at
man.
the packaging, man.
Right. They're literally warning you.
Yeah, it looks like something that like a kid in an after school special would drink and his life would be fucked up over.
Right. Because they're just like,
I walked into a party one time, and there was this like 6'4" guy who just like jumped up on a table, took his car keys, keyed open the base of a Four Loko, popped the end, and shotgunned it. Shotgun the Four Loko, and I looked over at my friend who I walked in with, and I was like, "This is gonna be a cool party."
That was how it started.
Yeah, that's the first thing we saw when we walked in.
Oh my god. What happened to that guy?
I think he ended up passing out.
Yeah, say instantly
Yeah,
almost.
yeah. He's the judge of my circuit.
What do you
He
mean?
like he's the federal judge of
He's a
the area.
judge now?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Isn't it crazy
that's
to think that like some of the people who like the dumbest fucking people that you knew in high school, like they grew up and now they're like managers or
yeah.
somebody's manager.
Most of them are like real estate agents.
But that's like a pretend job.
Yeah, like what even is it though?
I feel like that whole fucking industry is like held together with tapes and like emails.
It's like it's basically show and tell, adult show and tell, but
It
it's
feels
like
like something that shouldn't exist.
yeah, because it's like, dude, I could. How about I just look at the house? Like, why does someone else have to show me?
Yeah. Why do you got to take some off the top? What do you mean?
Exactly. 5%.
What does a real estate agent do?
I honestly don't know.
I feel like I kind of feel like that whole industry is like looking at one another like I cannot believe people are fucking paying us for like how are we getting away with this?
Yeah, like they're almost like inside on the joke
Yeah.
in a way. Yeah, because they have people that check like to make sure the plumbing is good and everything, but like
Yeah.
that's not the real estate person's job.
Yeah, they're just making calls.
They do this.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what they do. One arm motion.
You know what's bullshit too is like you got to get a realtor and they talk to the people who are selling. They don't talk to the people who are selling the house. They talk to their realtor. They
Yeah,
talk to
what?
it's two real estate agents talking to one another. There's two middlemen. Let's cut those
Right.
fools out.
That's 10%.
Yeah. Both ways.
Yeah. Wow, that is a
And
scam.
I
I should have been a
are
real
we-
estate agent. That sounds pretty cool.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. I genuinely feel like if I woke up tomorrow, I could be a real if I woke up. I could wake up tomorrow and just like dedicate like a week and I could pass whatever real estate like certification you have to pass.
Yeah. It's like it's just like, you know those VR tours? It's like click through this and then when you're done you pass. Like
Yeah,
it's literally
yeah.
the test. Dude.
You just have to like walk around with a 360 camera, and I think that's it.
Yeah, one of those Google. Yeah, have you ever seen like one of those Google cars? I feel like they'd be like pretty prevalent in Cali.
I've seen two.
But it's like how many times do you have to drive around?
Yeah,
Like we
yeah.
get it.
City hasn't changed, bud.
Right. I'm still at the store when you last did this.
Yeah,
It's
I
just you in a
remember-
different position.
I remember. I don't know why. I saw one coming up the street. And I was like, "Oh, this will be funny," and I just like started running, like running the direction they were going, and I looked at that address like probably every day for like 2
You
weeks.
just consumed your life.
Yeah, trying to see if what I thought happened. It did not. So I was
That's
just
disappointing.
sprinting next to the Google car.
How funny would
like-
that be if you were just in every city like you just made it? Like this guy's everywhere.
I think like long con jokes like that are really, really funny. Like the simplest version of that I do is I just love telling people the wrong name.
Like of yourself?
Yeah, like
At a party?
yeah, there was these two girls who were hanging. So I was at a gas station and these two guys that I used to work with were like there. I guess they were going to like a party or something. And they had two girls in the back seat. And I was talking to the guys. One of them goes into the store, and then I'm talking to the other guy and the two girls. And I introduced myself, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, nice to meet you, nice to meet you." And they're like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Andrew." Didn't miss a beat. And I ended up bumping into those girls maybe like 5 times after that, where they were sisters, where they both thought that my name was Andrew. And the jig was finally up when we were all at a party. Because the two guys were also in on it. Because as soon as the
Okay.
first guy heard it, the other guy came back from the store, and the first guy was like, "Yeah, so I was telling Andrew," pointing at me. So the
Uh-huh.
second guy was like, "Got it locked." 5 times I bumped into these girls later on down the line, and I'm at a party with them, and they're telling a story, and they point to me and they go, "Yeah, Andrew was there." And one of the
Mm.
girls who I also know, who knows them, who knows my real name, she's like, "That's what do you mean?" And she
Yeah.
was like, "Andrew." And she was like, "Cameron?" And they just looked at me and they're like, mine like melted.
Damn, you basically invested into that.
Yeah, because it was like a several month long lie. Because these weren't like it wasn't like there was parties every weekend. This was like several months down the line.
Did you remember that you were in on your own joke? Or did you
Yeah,
forget?
I went back up to them and I was like, Alexia, like making sure I knew her name. And she was like, "Yeah, Andrew." And I was like, "Yes."
You remembered your own joke.
Yeah.
That's I feel like it is evil in a sense, but it's hilarious. So
Yeah.
there's some times where if you have both evil and hilarious outweighs the evil,
Yeah.
you just kind of, you know,
You got to do it
it's a done deal at that point.
morally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually reminds me at one of my old jobs, I this is so funny because nobody ever has recognized this about me until this last job that I had. So I worked at a restaurant and we would all be in this lane where you would grab like drinks and dishes and stuff. And people would come in and not to sound mean, but not everybody you meet's hilarious, right? That's just a
Yeah.
fact, right?
Yeah.
So what would happen is I don't know if I grew up like this or what it was, but I would give people kind of like a sympathy laugh because I didn't want them to feel
Yeah.
awkward. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So I
You're
worked here for
better than me.
yeah, and we've talked about this where you sit in the silence, which that's kind of where I'm at now, and I think it's just
Uh-huh.
better. It's better for
Yeah.
personal growth.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody needs that. You're going to be funnier because of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I would do the sympathy laughs. I would do these sympathy laughs where I basically would be like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's so obvious when you know.
Yeah.
But this girl,
I honestly hate getting those. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, it's almost worse, honestly.
It is. It is.
So I would do that constantly. And at one point, this girl, I'll call her Jessica, she was like, "That's not your real laugh, is it?" I was like,
Was she the one who told the joke?
"I think so."
Oh, okay.
I think that's why she caught on because I did it a lot to her. But she was cool. But I think one day she caught on because I think she heard like my real laugh when I talked to like my closer friends at work.
People
So
who are actually funny.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So she was like, "That's not your real laugh, is it?" And there was this moment, right, where we were just like, "Oh, like the jig is up."
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I was like, "I gotta come clean to you." It got real for a second. I was like, "That's not my real laugh." Like I do it to be. I don't know why. It's almost like a reflex thing. Like I don't even think
Yeah.
about it at this point. I've done it for so long. I had other friends that did it too, so I might have like caught it from them.
I think it's a polite thing to do most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't really think anything of it, but that day she called it out and we laughed about it after. But until that day after, I worked with her for like say 2 years after, every single time we were in the lane and I did it, she would look at me cuz we both knew that she knew, and I was just like, "Dude, like I felt like she found my kryptonite in a way, like my social kryptonite."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now you're very aware of the social interaction.
Yeah, which I think was a good thing. But now I think I'm inching towards the moment of just like, if it's not that funny, I'll just kind of sit there. You know, like
Yeah.
it's painful. Don't get me wrong. If someone says a joke and you don't laugh, it's very painful to like sit in the silence at first. But after a while, you're just like, oh, this is good for them.
Yeah. So I'll do it like in a polite, like passing interaction, right?
Right.
Like you know how sometimes you're talking to somebody like out in public and like it's just like a super small conversation and they
Yeah.
crack a joke and you're just ha yeah
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
oh classic
Yeah.
yeah But if we're friends,
Oof.
nah, you're
Yeah,
not.
you
You're
ain't
not.
getting this
You're
shit.
not
It's
catching pity.
locked.
Yeah, you're not catching pity laughs. I mean, maybe if you're like, if it's me and like a friend of mine, and he's like trying to impress a girl, and then
Mhm.
he tells a bad joke, I'll be like, ha ha ha, ah, man, you're
Oh, that's
crazy.
so painful.
Yeah, but no, I feel like the less, like, I'm not gonna have kids, fucking hopefully,
Mhm.
but if I did have kids, I feel like you can't pity laugh them. I feel like
Right.
they gotta learn what a good joke is.
Mhm.
So as soon as they actually make you laugh, they're like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
I got now it's real.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you could just tell. It's just kind of like on the internet. When you see somebody being inauthentic, you could just feel it. So
Mhm.
I feel like with a fake laugh, I mean, some people just kind of go with it, but I don't know. Laughter is one of those things where it is earned. You
Yeah,
know,
totally.
it's not a free T-shirt that you grab at the supermarket
that
or
you get
whatever.
yeah, that you get shot at a basketball game.
Yeah,
You know,
but
they're not shooting it out of a little cannon.
right, shooting laughter. Do you think you have a convincing fake laugh? Like, if you had to, say you like, you're
Tell
going
me a
out
bad
for.
joke right now.
Tell me you're going for a role and you have to sell this laugh,
Okay, all right, all right.
right? I don't even know if I could tell you a joke, but I could just say like a line to like lead you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Read me in. Read me in.
And then I told her that it wasn't mine.
Oh God!
You know what I mean?
Classic.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Let me try.
All
Let me
right,
try. Let me try.
let me give you one. Let me give you one. I'm telling you, dude. I opened the door. Probably 15 dogs in there.
No, I can't do it.
That was not
I
good,
can't do
dude.
it.
Oh my God.
I can't do it.
That was not good.
I'm just like forcing air.
Yeah. It sounded like you were like yelling at me.
Yeah, it's bad, and that's why I need
I
to
feel
take
like that was
acting
pretty good. I
classes.
feel like I did it pretty good.
Yeah, yours is really good. I think it's because I don't know, man. You're just a better actor than me.
I do. I feel like. Do you think you could be an actor?
I'm one of those people. There was like a TikTok. What?
It's just. Do you think you could be an actor? I feel like I'm the kind of person. like,
But no,
go,
this is dead
no, go ahead.
serious
Go
for a
ahead. Yeah,
second.
yeah, yeah.
Be serious. Be serious.
Okay.
There's like this TikTok audio where this guy is basically saying like he's never good at anything, so he has to dedicate a bunch of time to be like good. And I feel like that's me. In anything I've ever done in life, I had to put so much time into. So I feel like with acting would be like one of those things where I'd have to put in the time.
Uh huh. I feel like acting is one of those things where it's like writing, right? Like
Yeah.
you just, to be a good writer, you have to be a good reader. You have to
Mm,
read a lot, but you also have to like, there's like a sort of like rhythm that you have to just have,
yeah.
that you could definitely develop, but like every writer, similar to every musician, has their own like idiosyncrasies
Mm,
that like define define their work.
hmm.
And I think acting is like a different version of that, where like you have to be good at observing people,
Yeah.
and then good at, because you're not, acting isn't just like feeling things in front of a camera. You can't like just be sad in front of camera and be a good actor. You have
Yeah.
to like uh telegraph that you're feeling sad. And I
Right.
don't know if I'd be good at that.
Yeah. I mean, I've never see that was the thing too is like dude, I meet so many people in like the content online space that did theater or
Mhm.
choir as a kid and I'm just like sitting there like in envy because I feel like you know how they say like learning a language as a kid is a lot easier
A
than
lot
as an
easier.
adult. I feel
Right.
like that goes with a lot of skills.
I think so. Yeah, I think I would agree with that.
Yeah, so like anytime someone said like, "Oh, I was in theater," or like my parent was into whatever business, or they were a business person, like my parents own their own business, then it's like you already have like that DNA of like ingrained in you, like you know how to
Mhm.
make money or you know how to do X or Y.
You ever see those kids who are just super smart and they're like in college classes?
Yep.
I kind of feel bad for those kids actually.
Because of the added pressure.
Not necessarily the added pressure. It's just like when you have those kinds of like expectations, I wonder if like you lose out on like childhood
Mm,
development, like
mhm,
social interactions. Because
mhm.
like so much of public school is like learning how to socialize with other people.
Yeah.
And because you have this built-in peer group, um, you're going through changes together. So you can kind of navigate those things um in a safer environment than if you were just like a fully grown adult dropped into the world.
Mhm.
You know, like there would be so much you'd have to learn for the first time.
Yeah. It's a lot harder when you're older too.
Yeah. So I wonder if like I'm sure those kids are like, they grow up to be very successful adults, but I
Right.
wonder if like, what do they lose out on?
I actually, there was a kid in my grade that became a doctor like 4 or 5 years after high school. Like insane.
That's
Like
fucking crazy.
he had his bachelor's like in high school almost. Like it was
Hmm.
like how are you even like it was at that point where I was like how do you have access to college classes like this? Like
Yeah, yeah. That's another really big thing that I think people don't realize. Like, it's mm, when you're a kid whose like parents never went to college or something,
yeah.
like they don't fucking know how this shit works. They don't know
Mhm.
like where to put you,
Mhm.
like how to set you up. I feel like that's like one of the big advantages of like having wealthy parents. Not, I mean, the wealth in it of itself is like a huge thing, but like the connections too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically like having like a forklift, a metaphorical forklift in life cuz you're set up for success in a way.
Yeah.
Because you have resources and stuff. It's like I have conversations with my parents all the time because I was the first person in my family to get like a bachelor's, I think, and
Hmm.
then like the first person that wanted to like start their own business. So like I'm learning as anyone else would. Like I don't have like the answers from my parents. They can only help me as best they can, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely is weird. But oh, I wanted this is like super random, but I was looking through our analytics the other day and we have a single listener in Singapore. So shout out to you.
Yeah.
I just want to give him the shout out because that's cool.
Singapore, man.
Well, just because it's so
I
random, like we put
Yeah.
out this podcast and it's just like you have no clue who has access to it. Like you can't conceptualize it.
Mhm.
It's just like some random person in a different country is just like, who are these idiots?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I had a person when I was like still streaming, I would look at my analytics and I saw one person would regularly watch me from a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, and I was like, you could fucking get Twitch on a Nintendo, or maybe it was
Right.
my YouTube channel, something like that.
That is crazy. I wonder, dude, they're probably watching it in like 240p.
Yeah.
Like, the audio's desynced and everything.
Yeah.
Dude, this past week, so I used to always eat Subway as a kid. I used to go there all the time. I used to ride
Subway's
my bike.
fucking gross, bro.
It's not the greatest to be honest.
Subway is pretty gross.
Well, I used to eat it as a kid, and I used to ride my bike there, and I went there so much that the lady that worked there knew my exact order. And I'm talking from bread to toast preference to meats to cheese to
Yeah.
all veggies to
There's like 8
combo.
options that she had to
Everything.
remember.
Yeah, you would have thought she had like a Neuralink or something, or she wrote it down.
You
But
walk in and you're like, "Can I get it?" She's like, "I got it."
your total will be. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god. Um, but my point with that is, I would always eat Subway, and I would always need a nap after. But I didn't realize this for like years, right?
Yeah.
And then I found out that carbs make you extremely tired.
Yeah, yeah.
And this
And
past,
Subway's just a billion carbs.
it's literally a giant. It's enough carbs for like a pack of elephants, and you're a human
Yeah.
just consuming it.
Yeah.
And this past week, I was so tired because I was just like my sleep schedule was messed up as per usual, but also I was eating like a box of wheat thins a day. So I was like, no wonder I'm exhausted.
Wheat thins, just straight up carbs.
Yeah, just pure carbs.
Do you remember those Subway commercials with Michael Phelps?
Kind of, yeah.
I fucking hated that commercial.
What was so bad about it?
It was like it was athletes and their moms. And the whole idea was like moms know their children best, and they know that in order for these top level athletes to perform, they need a good meal. So come to Subway. And like there was one scene that like always used to like frustrate me, I
Mhm.
guess is the right word, because it would be Michael Phelps, prolific
Mhm.
Olympic athlete, more medals than like most people could ever hope.
Most
Most
countries.
most Olympic athletes would ever hope. A lot of countries, yeah.
Yeah.
He had more medals than some countries.
Right.
And he's
He's
just
he's
like
stacking on a meatball
he's
marinara.
going crazy in the pool. His weird ass like mutation body that like allowed him to swim better.
The front half of his body is like this, and his legs are like 20% of his body.
So he's swimming and he gets to the wall, and his mom, my and she pulls
Mhm.
out a 12-inch Subway sandwich. And Michael Phelps, sopping wet,
Oh.
she just hands him us. She takes it in half. She hands him half of a sandwich while he's in the pool, and his hands are all wet.
Mhm.
And I'm like, who the fuck
Right.
wants a fucking Subway sandwich in the pool?
Yeah.
And an Olympic sized pool,
Right.
an Olympic athlete. I don't know why that always pissed me off.
It's just so unrealistic.
I remember seeing that the first time and being like, why would you eat the sandwich at the pool? And then every
Mhm.
time I saw it afterward, I got like progressively more angry about it.
Yeah. You just turn off the TV by the time, eventually. Like, I can't even
Yeah.
see this.
Yeah.
That that is hilarious to me though, that they're like they're thinking of like, what athletes should we sponsor?
Yeah.
And someone says Michael Phelps. And they're like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't
'Cause,
think of a worse athlete.
well, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because, like, like when you're swimming and you get out of the pool and you're like, man, I could use a sandwich and some chips right now.
Yeah, I could use a meatball marinara. Just 1,300 calories.
Oh man, dude.
That'd be a
I
funny challenge, dude. You get like 12 dudes and you tell them they have to eat a meatball marinara and then swim a lap in an Olympic pool. They're just all cramping up instantly. Like, they can't even get halfway.
Oh my god, dude, that's so funny.
They have like everyone has 3 lifeguards. Dude.
Oh man, that's the real Iron Man. Fuck
Yeah.
like biking, swimming, and running. You just have to eat a shitload of Subway and then just swim for a while.
Dude, if I was Mr. Beast, I would come up with the stupidest challenges like that. Just people, dude. That's the worst sub. I can't think of a worse one.
I fed these Olympic athletes 15
Drone shot.
yeah. I fed these Olympic athletes
Oh.
15 meatball marinaras, and now they're gonna compete. Oh my god, dude! How many people would vomit? I would genuinely love to see.
Dude. Oh,
Holy
that'd be the murkiest
funny.
water ever.
damn! Oh shit!
Now that's a commercial I would watch.
I feel like advertising is kind of getting to that point. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
every now and then, advertising has to reinvent itself because people get so used to the kinds of ads.
Mhm.
Like I feel like we're at the point where they're like, fucking, I don't know, man. Like, let's just give a bunch of athletes a meatball marinara and just have them run a marathon while we eat it.
That's the type of ideas though that they need. Just like something so stupid that it would probably I would probably go to Subway, get a meatball marinara.
Yeah.
Or they could sort of hashtag challenge the meatball marinara challenge or something.
Yeah.
And people would do it.
Yeah, because people love clout, man.
Like the
Remember
milk.
when Red Bull dropped a guy out of the upper atmosphere to
Yeah.
promote Red Bull?
That dude, it's so funny because every time I see a Red Bull like TikTok or something, they're like, they're not even promoting the drink anymore. Like,
Yeah.
they've lost themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're just doing cool. I mean, I'm down. They're
Yeah.
doing cool shit, I guess, but like,
Yeah.
I'm still gonna drink fucking Rockstar, I guess.
Right. Yeah, it's
I'm not gonna lie. If I drink do you drink energy drinks? You don't
I
seem like the type.
I try not to after the the catastrophic moment I had in my shower. Did I tell you about that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so when I used to work my old job, I used to drink Rockstar zero sugar energies every shift.
I like those a lot though.
They're
Those are
so good.
And the white can?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're so delicious. And it got to the point where I was drinking them daily.
That's holy shit, dude. You had an arrhythmia.
Not great.
Yeah.
And one day I'm in the shower and crazy enough, I feel something in my chest on my left side.
What the fuck, dude?
Like something feels weird.
I almost died.
Yeah, I feel like the guy in Limitless, or I feel like I'm in a moment, where time slows down. So I shut the shower off, and my heart's just beating. Like there's like a DK bongo drum in my chest.
The water drips from the faucet, and you could see it moving in slow mo because your body is just moving faster than everything else.
Yeah, my heart's going at like 1,000 beats per second.
Yeah.
And I'm moving through the water. And so what happens is I step out and I'm like, hold on, let me sit down. And I feel, actually, before I hopped to the shower, I felt a pop. Yeah, a literal like imagine you like, I don't even know like what I could compare, like two is it PVC pipes? Is that what they are? Yeah, you take two PVC pipes and you plop them, and it felt like that in my chest. And I shut the shower off, butt booty naked, get out of the shower. I'm sitting on the toilet, just like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Dripping wet.
Just butt ass naked, scared for my life, dude. I couldn't be more primal in that moment. You know what I mean? Like I could have been in the middle of the Amazon forest. Like it didn't matter.
Dripping wet, fearing for your life, butt naked on the toilet.
I felt like that meatball marinara sandwich in the commercial. Like I was scared for my life, and eventually I got back down to ground zero. And in that moment I was like, I will never drink another energy drink.
I cannot believe that shit. That's fucking awesome.
I've had some crazy. Now that I think of it, I've had too many. I've probably had 3 too many near-death experiences.
Really? What were the other 2?
The one was when a donkey bit on my finger. Like he had a hold of my hand, like my finger, when I was little.
I imagine that was pretty scary. I think you probably would have survived.
Yeah, I probably would have been fine, actually.
Donkeys are weird. Donkeys and horses are weird creatures, though. They kind of freak me out.
Wait, you group together donkeys and horses?
No, they're like, I'm just saying they're weird creatures. I mean, I grew up in a really small agriculture town.
Mm-hmm.
So like there was like a ton of horse girls, and like they would do
donkey
like
girls.
Yeah,
that would be wild. Girls.
Yeah. They did like a ton of rodeos and stuff like in that area. And dude, horses are fucking weird creatures. Like horse girls love a horse more than they're ever gonna love any other person in their life. And I don't get it. Because like they're kind of gross, and they're way too big, and their faces are weird, and their mouths and their lips are gross. Oh god, man. I kind of and you could turn, this is sad, but they turn their hooves into marshmallows, and it's just like, how do these animals work?
They turn their hooves into marshmallows.
I might be, man. I don't know if that's real.
What kind of vampires you go into, man?
Well, I feel like okay. I'm now realizing that might not be true. Okay. I think what I understand is like they would like take like some mineral or like ligament or something in like horse hooves, and that was like a key component to making like the marshmallows gelatinous.
Really?
Somebody fact check me. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it seems like the kind of thing that somebody told me as a child, and I never stopped believing.
I was gonna say the last thing on earth I would assume that's in a marshmallow would be any ligament.
Or like any horse
you
body
know,
part.
horse meat's in that. The drunk guy at my bonfire. Like,
what was your other near-death experience?
the other one, I mean, these aren't like funny, obviously, but
I'll be the judge of that.
Dude, yeah, right, just dying. So I think I think I've told you this before, but I was probably, let's say, 5 or 6. We went to the dentist's office. And you know how they have those coffee cups or jars with suckers in them?
Okay,
Sometimes
yeah.
at like offices or whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously, as a kid, I grabbed one. It was like the flat circle. It's like the size of a quarter. So I'm eating it. It's flavor red. Like it's not even a real flavor. You know,
Yeah.
We're in the car and my dad's driving. My mom's in the passenger seat and I'm in the back seat. I'm obviously enjoying the sucker. We're in traffic. Someone cuts off my dad, right? He slams on the brakes and I'm not even saying just the candy part. The entirety of the sucker.
The stick and everything?
Gone.
Oh my God, dude.
Yes. And I don't even really know, like...
Are you choking or did it like go all the way down?
I'm 100% full on choking. Like, never choked this hard in my life. My dad pulls over. My mom's screaming. She gets out of the car. I black out within like...
My mom's screaming. What way to be a fucking level-headed parent in that situation. I mean, I get it's scary, but I feel like in that situation, you gotta be like, everything's fine.
Yeah. Well, the thing, she totally like broke that stereotype or whatever you want to call it, like that notion, because she grabbed me out of the back seat, Heimlich maneuvered, and it came out, and she saved my life.
Okay, I take it back. Yeah,
And the crazy part is they called like the fire department. I think my dad called the fire department while this was happening. And I think they got there. I don't remember. Everything else after I started choking was a blur. But my mom told me that the fire department got there and they said I was 30 seconds away from death. Like that's how close.
Holy shit, man. That's crazy.
I like barely knew what like recess was at this point. I was young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was 100% the closest I've ever been to death. The other one was the donkey, which that I don't count that. You're right. And then my car accident, which I don't really count that. I survived. I still went to the gym after I got T-boned at 50. The person was going 60 miles an hour and they T-boned me on my driver's side, right into my leg, smashed my door. And I still went to the gym after. I was like, hey, I'm going to go to the gym. Like, I'm not going to miss leg day. You know what I mean?
That's crazy, dude. Just like, hey, how's your day going? I just got fucking nailed, man.
I'll take I'll take Italian herbs.
Yeah. So I'm hoping this gym sesh
right
kind of takes my mind off things.
Here's a fun question. How many days would you survive on the island if all you could eat was meatball marineras?
Oh shit. Can I change the bread?
Okay, how about this? If you picked a fast food restaurant to survive on, like Mr. Beast. Sorry, Mr. Beast. Sorry, Jimmy. If he says, hey, I have a challenge for you and you have to survive, this is life or death. Yeah. You get one choice of a fast food restaurant to survive on. I'm building it. There's going to be a full work crew. They're going to
get the full menu.
You get the full menu. Now the workers are going to be fine. They're going to have showers. They're going to have internet, Wi-Fi. You're fucked. You just have their food in the service. Okay. What fast food restaurant do you pick if Mr. Beast puts you on an island? You have to survive.
Let me tell you my thinking first. I feel like this has got to be something that is like relatively healthy. It can't just be nothing but grease because I'll feel like shit and eventually die.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm thinking either Wendy's or Chipotle.
Dude, if you pick Chipotle, you're going to have food poisoning from day one until you die. Dude, and you don't have a choice.
I don't think so, man. I feel like, well, they do got like that. They got like salmonella in their guac or whatever.
If they did a poll, I guarantee that Chipotle would dominate the charts in food poisoning cases.
Why is that though? Like there was like a bunch of cases a couple of years ago of people getting like really sick from Chipotle. Like wasn't there like actual salmonella at Chipotle restaurants?
Well,
recently,
I also heard that it was the E.
E.
coli
coli,
in
that's what it
this in the
was.
lettuce.
What the fuck?
But
What
I don't know
even?
how any of that
What
works.
is E. coli?
Like, I'll get a chicken
I thought
burrito either way.
what is E. coli though? Where does it come from? What does it want? What
If
does it
I
work for?
if I had to make an educated guess, this is a guy who has no expertise in this field.
Yeah, yeah. This is the guy that I definitely want to weigh in.
Yeah. So I heard from a guy that knows a guy, I would guess that it's some type of like bacteria.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
you get to make that assumption too.
But what? Where the fuck does it come from? What like salmonella? Okay, I get it. It comes from chickens and like chicken products. But E. coli, where? Why? Who? Where does it? What does it want?
I have no. We can sit here and speculate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Give me your best guess. Actually, where does E. coli come from?
If I had to guess where E. coli comes from, I would say it's in the dirt.
Keep in mind that it's on lettuce.
I would say it's in the dirt. It has to be. I would say
dirt's everywhere, man. What's wrong with
exactly.
This dirt?
Well, like, does lettuce grow on ground?
Yes.
So I would guess that anything with like worms and stuff would be more susceptible to E. coli. I don't know.
that's everywhere, man. I think fecal matter is in the soil, and
you think
that's where it's coming from? I shit, man. That's my best guess.
Wouldn't that be at everything too? Fertilizer.
Yeah, maybe like the wrong kind of fecal matter. Maybe
is there
maybe
wrong?
Like
it's all wrong. It's on my food. I would say like the E. coli, the reason the E. coli happens is because there's a bunch of crevices in lettuce heads. So it's harder to like spray down. Like if you have a carrot, it's like pretty easy. Like imagine Power Wash Simulator. It's way easier level to clear a carrot than a batch of lettuce.
Yeah. Oh god, I remember when I was working at In-N-Out, I had to fucking like do lettuce.
Yeah.
And that shit fucking sucked, bro. It was so annoying. You had to like fill up we had like a specific sink that you had to like deep clean every time you used it. And then you would fill it up with water and ice. And you would just like throw all of the lettuce in there. And then you would have to leaf the entire head of lettuce, cut it, clean it, and just like put it in a little tray. And you did that for hours, and your fingers would get all cold from the water. It sucked.
Why does it have to have ice in it, though?
I think to like keep it crisp or like make sure it doesn't get all floppy.
Yeah, to keep it. I mean, I don't know. I feel like anytime you're dealing with like temperatures, you're already like in the negative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, this has to be cold? Like, oh, everybody's getting E. coli.
Yeah. That's also, you've worked at a restaurant. You've taken like a food handler's card thing.
Food handler card?
This is concerning, Wave. Well, maybe this is a California thing, actually, now that I think about it. But in California, if you work in the restaurant industry, you basically have
gloves?
to take you basically have to take an online course that tells you like, hey, wash your hands, dog. And like, that's basically it. And it's like it's a whole thing where you have to get food handler certified.
Okay.
And yeah, like they basically tell you like, hey, if you leave cold shit out in the warm, it's gonna get gross. If you leave warm shit out in the cold, it'll get gross. Make sure you wash your hands when you go to the bathroom.
It's the same quiz as the real estate agent quiz.
Yeah.
The same requirements.
They don't change anything.
Wash your hands, dog. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember at one of my old jobs, I had to do one of the nastiest things, which was prepare feta cheese.
Why is that nasty?
Because the way that it sits or keeps fresh or whatever, it would be in the cooler. You would take it out, and it's in a giant bucket of water. It looks like Lost. It's like, why is it is way too much liquid, and it's sitting in it, and you have to like break it out and take it out, and it's just like, people eat this? I
Yeah,
never
yeah, yeah.
got it. There's certain foods where I'm like, how do people eat feta cheese or like anchovies? Because I worked at
Uh-huh.
a pizza place. So like there'd be some people, there was like a regular we had that would get double anchovies. I'm like, dude, one is enough.
Please.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I guess he probably assumed he's like, oh, they have enough because nobody else is ordering this.
Uh-huh.
But every time we'd order it, I would just be like, why, man? Because it would stink up the whole restaurant.
And it was just like in a big bucket.
Well, the feta cheese was in like basically the feta cheese was just like they dropped a block of cheese in a janitor's bucket. That's what it looked like. It was awful.
Let
But
me drop some very, very specific California shit on you.
okay.
When I was working at In-N-Out, if you work at In-N-Out right now, in the comments, tell me I'm not lying.
Okay.
I would just be going through it, dude. I'd be cooking or I'd be working board, which is like wrapping all the burgers, and I would just be getting fucking hammered by all of these burgers. So like I'd be like, hey, cover my board. I gotta go to the walk-in really quick for a second. And I would just walk into the walk-in freezer, lift up the lid on this giant bucket of pickles, just eat
Mm.
one pickle, and just like take a deep breath and be like, all right, I'm good to go.
Just one.
Walk out and just wash my hands and be like, all right, I'm back. Let's go.
Like a cigarette break, but for
And
pickles.
that's basically what it was, man. You would just like go and eat a pickle and just get recharged a little bit.
Yeah, someone walks in on you and you're like, gotta take the edge off. Oh, what's that? What was it, like sliced hamburger pickles or was it whole?
Yeah, the sliced ones.
Okay. You would take a single slice and be good.
I mean, sometimes I get like 2 or 3.
Dude, I'd be. So, how is it prepared though? Like, it's a
What do you,
bucket?
it's so yeah, it's like a bucket of it's like a 30-gallon bucket of brine filled with pickles.
30-gallon. Wait,
I
what is
mean,
brine?
it's like the shit that's like all the vinegar and shit that like they put the cucumber in to turn it into a pickle.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's not a bad idea though. I'll do the same thing before the gym sometimes. I'll get a pickle. I'll take a sip. I don't know what it is, dude. Pickle juice almost could have like its own pre-workout. Like Vlasic could probably launch.
Well, it's just salt and like vinegar and like your body like when you're getting a pump, if you ever notice like you ate a lot of salt one day and then you go to the gym, you're like your pump looks crazy because like you're retaining more water.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Dude, that actually reminds me. I had like 2 different days. So I consume a lot of salt because I think when you change your diet around, you kind of have to take a fall. When you're not eating a bunch of sugar or like
You gotta have
fats,
something.
you gotta have something that balances it
Yeah.
out. And usually it's sodium. That's why a lot of fit people have a lot of water as well to like balance out sodium levels.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I consume a lot of sodium and that results into waking up with a foot cramp. And that is one of the scariest feelings in the world. Like it's like this. This is a visual representation of having a foot cramp. Sorry, audio listeners, but it's like this. It's like I'm sleeping and then it's like
Bro, for those of you listening, Wave is laying all the way back in his chair and very clearly holding onto his leg, his foot for dear life. Oh my god, dude.
water.
Yeah, you just grab the nearest cup near the bed.
Gets it while I'm drinking the water.
I was dating this girl and I was over at her place for the night. I was spending the night at her place, and we were laying with one another, and I got a cramp like in my hamstring, like in the act.
Yeah,
and I was like, hang on, stop,
stop right there!
Don't touch me,
Hands up!
Yeah.
What? That's such a funny moment, though. Like to be there and you can't move. Oh, the only thing you can do is laugh because if you move, you know what I mean.
It's getting worse. Worse.
Did you ever have a friend that had a white dog with crusty eyes?
Dude, oh my god, I don't know if I would call her a friend. but we were coworkers, and she had a party at her place, and I went over there one day, and two little Shih Tzus, white Shih Tzus, with a little, one of them very very cute, the other one the total stereotype of the crusty eyes, and he was just looking at me being cute, and I went to pet him, and he bit me so fucking hard on the side of my hand, like as I walked into the party, dude.
Oh
As I walked
no.
in, so I spent the rest of the night. I probably should have left to go get like a tetanus shot or something, but like I spent the rest of the night, like we would take it, we would all have a drink together, like we'd have a shot. I'd be like, "Yeah, man, I'm having fun." Fucking hand hurts though.
Can you pour some of your drink on my cut?
Yeah. You're drinking vodka, just throw a little bit on there just in case, you know.
You know what's a hilarious bit is to like walk into every party with like a cast. Like
Yeah,
like
with a different cast.
Yeah, every party. And it's like the same people. Like imagine you walked into that party with like a club on. How insane you would look. Double club. It's like Edward, it's like the, what was it called? Edward 40 hands, but you just don't have beer.
Oh
Imagine doing that, but you don't have a drink. You just...
Dude, have you ever played that game?
No, because I want my life expectancy.
Yeah.
I want to live.
First of all, who the fuck likes drinking 40s?
And double that. You know what I mean?
You're drinking 80s, man. Like,
and you lose motor skills. You know what I mean?
You can't, dude. Edward 40 hands fucking sucks because like you can't even go to the fucking bathroom.
You're just gone. What,
dude? I remember we used to drink 40s when we were like teenagers. That shit was so stupid. That was one of those things that, like, looking back, we only did because we were 16 and trying to get drunk.
Yeah, you're like
so
invincible.
Dumb,
you're like invincible from the age like 15 to like it's just spreading misinformation. So you can basically, have you ever seen that Key and Peele skit where he's like, you can literally fly? It's after the basketball game. He's like telling the kids. That's how it feels. But yeah, it is. I mean, dude, drinking is one of those things where, I mean, it's a steep hill. If you're trying to be cool and drink at parties, like 40 ounces or 80 ounces. I've always been like a lightweight, I would say.
Yeah.
For the, like, not a crazy amount, but like, I just know my limit. I mean, I've been there. I think what it was I didn't really know my limit once. And then after that, I was like, oh, I'll know my limit forever because it was bad.
I think when you first start drinking, you think you know your limits, and then you find out one night that you don't. And that shit fucking sucks, man. I found out there's two moments in my head that like stick out where I was like, dude, I fucking hate this. I just don't want to be fucked up anymore. And one, when I was like 16 and I was visiting my older cousin in Santa Barbara, and Santa Barbara is like it's like known to be a party town, like a party school. And I was like hanging out with him and all these like cool college people, and like there were these really really pretty girls there, and I like wanted to be, and I was 16. Wow. So like I didn't drink like really at all, and like I smoked a little bit of weed, but like I got there and he smoked a lot of weed, and he one day was like, hey man, kill this bowl. And like I just probably smoked way too much. We go to this, I'm fucking stoned out of my mind. We go to this party and take a shot, and then somebody hands me a drink, and immediately I'm like fucked up, and I sit down and I pass out. And the girl who was throwing the party, it was her apartment, bless her heart, man. She was trying to take care of me, but like she very clearly like had no idea how to take care of a drunk teenager, because she was like giving me chocolate milk.
Oh,
I was like looking back on it as an adult, I'm like, what the fuck were you thinking? I'm drunk and high right now. That's the last. I don't need milk in my system.
Here's a bunch of dairy.
What kind of fucking psycho? And then the other thing that really sticks out in my mind is like we were just fucking, again, dumb. I was probably like 19, and we were just trying to get drunk cheap. So we were drinking 40s,
Oh.
and I just like had too much, and I passed out in my friend's front yard. And his mom, who's super super cool, super sweet, and she she like found me in the front yard and like carried me inside and put me on my friend's bed, and I
Damn.
just like slept that shit off. And I think that was the last time where I was ever like, dude, I never want to be that drunk.
Yeah, it
That
sucks.
was like my come to Jesus moment. I'm glad I had it at 19 and not like 29, I
45 with
guess.
the
Yeah,
family.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, mine was around this. Well, I think mine I was like 21, and it was right after. Oh, I had two, and both of them were after like bad breakups.
Mhm.
Actually, one of them was after a breakup. The other one was after a car crash.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was just like typical
Trying to
dark
bury it.
time. Yeah, I
Yeah.
buried it deep. I don't
Uh-huh.
know where it went, but yeah, I just remember I was with the one time I was with one of my friends, and oh, this one sucked so bad. I mean, I just like we had Smirnoff and Gatorade,
Oh,
which is
gross.
the worst
So
decision.
much sugar.
Yeah, just so bad. And I woke up. I'll just say it in like the least gross way, but I got sick everywhere in the room.
Oh god.
I woke up and I was like, just
Yeah.
this is the worst moment of
Yeah.
my life because now I have to clean
Yeah.
this and I'm hungover. And the second time was pretty funny because I dressed up as the Tapatio hot sauce guy for a Halloween party.
Okay.
And it was after my car crash. And I just, every time someone offered me a drink, I said yes, which is a
Uh-huh.
terrible idea. Like this one guy had this, it was literally two alcohols combined, and he called it the Hulk Smash, which, if anything's named after a superhero or a
Yeah.
huge guy, don't drink it.
Yeah.
That's
Get
my
out of there.
advice. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I did. And the next day I had to work at a restaurant. And I just remember like I would have to like call off tables. I'd be like, number 20's like turned, it's cleaned. But I would just see two number 20's. Like I saw two of every table the whole day. And I
Yeah.
just was like hovering over a trash can. And then one of my coworkers, the same guy that gave me the Hulk smash, ordered some pasta and he was like, hey, do you want some? And it instantly like cured me,
Yeah.
which is
You just need
crazy.
that fat to absorb the poison in your system.
That and then the other time was like Qdoba. So it's like sometimes that food just cures you. It's almost like medicine.
Yeah, yeah. I remember one time, my girlfriend at the time, we were at like a party, and we just like we were having a really good time, and we got pretty drunk. And the next morning we both woke up and we were like, I do not feel great.
Yeah.
So we both just were like, do you want to just like order a pizza and just chill? Like,
Hmm.
and that's like looking back at that relationship, that's one of my fondest memories.
Yeah. That pizza probably tasted amazing too.
Yeah, I did. I I feel like you need to have those moments when you're young of like, okay, I definitely fucked up there.
Yeah.
Uh, like I drank too much, or like that was like a stupid thing. That's what being young is. It's like being able to make the dumb decisions and the dumb mistakes um in like the safest way possible.
Yeah. If you're not like running over a family of four,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
probably doing all right.
That's another thing that I'm really happy I was always like
I'm glad
hard
I
no
didn't.
on.
Oh.
I'm not drinking and driving.
Oh yeah.
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 Because there's like still dudes that I know that like will get pretty fucked up, and they'll be like, give me my fucking keys.
Where are my keys at? I can
Yeah.
drive.
Although I will say drinking and driving jokes always make me laugh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just funny to me. And I made a joke about drinking and driving the other day, and somebody I won't name drop, but somebody basically messaged me and was like, "Hey, I was hit by a drunk driver."
Ooh.
Um, so that I just don't think that's super cool. So I took it down. I took it
Ah,
down, but I took it down because I was like, yeah, I want to be sensitive. I do kind of still think the joke is funny
the
though.
yeah. Yeah, I get it though. Like it's like I don't know, if you made a joke about something that you didn't experience, it's harder to like
Yeah,
have
yeah.
that
Which
perspective.
is why I took it down, because
Mhm.
I was like, this probably means more to somebody else than it does to me. But
Yeah. But
yeah,
you still thought about it. Like, and laughed
yeah,
a little.
a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I basically, to get back to the point, I'm glad I made dumb decisions the
Mhm.
right way.
Right. Yeah. I think as you get older too, you just see stuff so clearly. And it's funny because like when I streamed a lot of Fortnite, I mean like the audience is just younger and
Yeah.
they would just be like, "Oh, I want to go do this." And it's just like the dumbest thing you've ever heard. And you're like, "No, don't do that." But like they're just like chasing adrenaline or something.
Yeah.
It's like that rebellion stage, the rebellious stage where you just want to do what you can't do.
Yeah. I think you know what's interesting is like the kids who had the strictest parents were like the ones who were doing the most shit
I
when I
didn't
was in
though.
high school. Really?
Yeah, but I know what you're talking about. A lot of the times the kid that had like the most yellow tape or whatever would be
Yeah.
going crazy. It's like you're doing meth. We're in kindergarten.
Yeah.
Like
Dude, there were people I know I've told you this before, but like people would do fucking coke in the like before school in my high school. It's like, dude, you're going to math right now.
yeah, you're right.
You got an algebra 2 test.
Why do you even need this though? Like, is it
Yeah.
that great? Wait for the weekend.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I've never done coke. I have no desire to do coke. Um,
You
I've
need,
seen people do coke, and I was like, I think want to get out of this party.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I've been in that. I've been in that scenario where like I realized a little too late. It's like they've been passing something around for a while, and
Yeah.
I didn't realize what it was, and then it's
It,
like almost to me, and I'm like, oh, it's time to leave.
it's so much more common than I thought, too.
Oh, it's so casual. It's like,
It's everywhere.
yeah, it's like they're
It's
passing around
almost
like a charcuterie board. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it's almost hard not to do coke.
Start have to do one. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I just turned around and somebody threw it in my face, officer.
Fill this Febreeze bottle with it. That would be crazy.
A squirt bottle. Dude, that's diabolical.
Just Naruto running through it. That would
That's
be nuts.
crazy.
I don't think that would work.
How do you could probably like well, because coke and crack are the same thing, right? So like you could probably just like get a little crack and like make just get a little crack and
Just a little.
set it up like an incense.
Yeah, put it in my wax melter.
Yeah.
Gotta change the bulb, dude. I've been going through 3 of these today.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude, your apartment smells great. Thank you. It's crack.
There's no way it's gotta
I have a
make it smell terrible.
crack?
Yeah, yeah.
What does crack smell
I don't know.
That's so funny, dude. Oh my god, what does crack smell like is such a funny question.
That's a top Google search for sure.
Yeah. I am curious though. I feel
Yeah.
like it probably smells like plastic.
Yeah, or like I would assume like a chemical,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
cleaning
definitely.
solution or something.
Uh-huh.
Or no, probably something dark.
Rat
Like a,
poison.
yeah, like a cigarette smell-ish, maybe.
Uh-huh. I kind of dude, I kind of like this
I kind of like
smells.
crack. You just admit it.
I think I'm gonna start doing crack. I kind of like the smell of cigarettes actually.
Really?
Yeah, I'm ashamed to admit this, but like I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't think I'm going to start smoking cigarettes.
Unless there's a cute
But
girl next to you on
yeah,
the
unless
balcony.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I will admit they do look cool.
Oh yeah.
Like I people are always like, don't smoke cigarettes. It's not cool. It's kind of cool.
The act of it isn't cool, but does it look cool? Like
It
if
does
I'm
look
doing a
cool.
photo shoot, cigarettes would probably make it look a little cooler.
Yeah. Fuck, man. Like
New challenge
you,
alert.
nobody looks cool vaping. I see a dude vaping. I'm like, oh, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
I see a dude smoking a cigarette, just ripping a dart.
Yeah.
I'm just like, those look fucking cool.
Yeah. I feel like when people vape, their face looks like they read a book that I haven't and they like got the value from it or something. It's like they have a secret that they want to tell me, but they can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or just a really sour gummy.
I remember there was like this ex-girlfriend that I had that I was like still into, who came through the drive-through at In-N-Out. And In-N-Out is like basically it's a fishbowl. It's like windows all around.
Mhm.
And so I was walking through the back and I like saw her and like my heart kind of dropped, you know, like when you see somebody. And I'm like walking towards the window where I see her, and she's like the middle car in 3 cars, so she's not at the window,
Yeah.
but I see her pull out a vape and she just like
Oof.
rips it. And it was like the first time I'd seen her in like a year or two. And she just rips that vape, and I was like, oh, okay, I think I'm actually okay.
Aw.
I think I'm actually over this.
At least you realized it like a car ahead. Because if you was like at the window and you had that, she'd be able to
Yeah.
tell like the drop in your expression.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why is he disappointed?
Yeah, yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Do you have you dated somebody who smokes cigarettes?
I mean, dating is like the word dating for me is such a interesting word. Because like, does that mean official? Does that mean just seeing somebody?
I the way I use it is like just seeing somebody, like it could be
Right.
either or.
Okay. Yeah, I would say yes, and wasn't great.
Yeah.
Yeah, mainly because my mom smoked like my whole childhood, so I just had like a.
So
I
you
was just
just
like,
woke up and you're like, "Mom?"
no, that would be terrible. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like also when you were talking about like ripping the vape, it's funny because I feel like have you ever played SSX Tricky? Have you seen that game before?
The snowboarding game?
Yeah, I feel like when you
Yeah.
I feel like when you vape, eventually they're gonna have holograms with like combos above them
Yeah.
for how long you could rip the vape.
Yeah.
Then maybe I don't know. It might be a little bit cool.
I don't know, dude. Like I just think of like all the vape trick videos, like the dudes who work in a vape shop and they're like blowing O's in like specific ways. I just think like this is like the coolest way to do something super dorky.
Yeah, like tech deck. It's like the new tech deck.
Yeah, yeah. It's like being fucking sick at tech deck.
Yeah,
It's like this is probably impressive to other people who are into this.
yeah.
I'm not the demo.
Right. It's very niche. Very,
Yeah,
very niche. You know what I hope is not niche one day?
tell me.
The Be Serious podcast.
Available on all podcast streaming services, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
And YouTube, which thank you guys for watching the clips and watching the YouTube. Thank you for this, the ratings as well. All of it helps. We're still super early in it. It's been a lot of fun. And if you guys have any questions, also, like if you listen to the podcast and you're like, oh, I'd love them to talk about this, bring it up or comment it because we definitely will at least touch on it, and that'll make
That'd be fun.
make it more interactive. So thank you guys so much for listening and watching this episode. We'll see you on the next one. Hope you have
Make
a great
sure you
week.
follow both of us on all of the socials. Make
Yep.
sure you follow the Be Serious podcast.
Yep.
Talk to you later.
Peace.